Hey there, welcome back to the garage. Today on this 2004 Chevy Astro van that I purchased and have been doing basic maintenance on the vehicle to get it ready to be a reliable daily driver for me. There are brake lines, hydraulic lines with brake fluid going to all four tires on this thing, all the wheels in the van. And the brake fluid is pretty nasty looking. What do you think, Dad? It's not the color it should be.
Should be clear.
It's kind of black in color. It's nasty. It's old. I don't know when the last time it was done. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's do it. I'm going to reach in and pull the hood release on the van. That's easy to do. You can find that on your car. But something not everybody knows is that there's a secondary latch on the hood. So in case you accidentally pull your hood release when you're going down the road, there's another latch to keep your hood from flying up and impeding your vision. Most cars, you have to peek underneath the hood and find that secondary latch to lift it up. On this van, it's right here. And it's a little bit sticky. That's something I'm going to have to fix. All right. Some hoods have a hydraulic piston that keeps it lifted for you. Other hoods have a prop rod. Either way, make sure that it is securely in place. Wiggle it a little bit. You don't want this hood falling down on your face. Locate the brake fluid reservoir. On this van, it's right there. It says .3, which is a type of brake fluid. Consult your owner's manual or the top of the brake fluid reservoir, and it will tell you what kind of fluid to use. Don't put in the wrong kind of fluid. Owner's manual, brake fluid reservoir, or if there's maybe the label's been torn off, look online. Figure out what kind of fluid your vehicle uses. So another thing you're going to want to do, I've already done it, but you're going to want to take a rag and clean off the top of this reservoir, because a lot of crap, debris, bits of oil, rust, whatever, road goo, it'll gather on top of that. And when you lift this off, you don't want all that junk falling into your brake fluid reservoir. There should be little plastic clips on the sides of these, most of them, that will allow you to remove this. Now, there is a rubber gasket here. It may have separated from this, or it could be stuck to this. Either way, gently, carefully pull that out, and we're going to clean these up later on. Now, let's look down inside here. We've done a little bit of work on this van already, and we've drained out some brake fluid. If you've watched my previous video, we replaced a chunk of leaking rusted brake line to the back. If you haven't watched that video yet, it's a great place to learn about how to patch a brake line. But you can still see this fluid is disgusting. Back here, I'm going to maybe do something I shouldn't do and dip my finger in here. It's gross. It's black, it's slippery like brake fluid usually is, but we're going to get all that out of there. Alright, I've got a bulb here. You can also use like a turkey injector or something like that, but maybe don't get one from your kitchen. You're going to want to buy one and keep it for use on your vehicles. And we're going to get down in here and we're going to remove all of this nasty junk. It's going to take a little while. Hey, Dad.
Yo.
Would you want to come and watch my camera and make sure I'm not blocking the view of what I'm doing here? I just want to make sure I get a good view of all this. Like, can you see what I'm doing as I get this out of here?
I'm on it.
You can pick that up if you want.
I'm on it. You're good. You might want to explain to him that one reservoir's for the rear brakes and one's for the front brakes.
Oh, well, you just did. So there's a reservoir for the rear and for the front, and there's a little dam in between them. Fluid will flow between the two reservoirs to a certain extent.
But if you lose the rear brake line, you still have front brakes. If you lose the front brakes, you'll still have rear brakes because they're individual.
Ah, so this reservoir would drain down to that point where the dam is, and then you would have fluid in your front or back, depending on which one has sprung a leak. That's pretty cool. All right, this is looking good. I'm going to get a clean rag and wipe out any crap down in the bottom of this, residue, junk.
Look how black it is down in there. Look at that nasty fluid.
Really gross.
And
really
look how
nasty.
dirty it is down in that reservoir. That should be white and clean. That's quite amazing, isn't it?
It's gross in there. Really gross.
And that's in your brake lines and in your brake calipers. You know,
Yeah.
those pistons. That's what's in there. You know, up until probably the mid-30s, all the old cars, they had mechanical brakes.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Henry Ford was the first one.
Really?
Yeah. And my old 8N tractor, they're mechanical. That's why you got to stand up on the seat and push down.
I remember that. Okay, this is clean. I'm going to start adding brake fluid.
Tell me when you got that, and I'll start gravity gripping. Fill them up as full as you dare. And you're filming it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I have drained out this partially used bottle of fluid.
There's a full one in there on that little workbench.
So, right here, we finish off that jug of other brake fluid. This one says synthetic .3 brake fluid, and that got me thinking, is this something different? I better check. And right here on the back, it says safely blends with other brand of .3 brake fluids. So, we're okay to use this. When I'm doing an oil change on a car, I try not to use different brands of oil. I don't really like to, but you could in a pinch, or if you were broke and you had different types of oil, different brands, of oil lying around, that would be okay. But I like to use one brand exclusively per oil change. I might switch brands between oil changes to save a buck here and there. There are some people who are very particular about their oil changes, and they will use only one brand of oil in their car forever. But anyway, that's a different video.
And exotic cars use silicone, tell them.
Yeah, there's also a type of brake fluid called silicon brake fluid. There's some crap down in there, darn it. I'm going to try to get that out. Some of this stuff broke free, and I see there's some floating chunks. Yep, sucked them right up. Not a problem. There were little black bits floating in there, little chunks that fell out from the sides, and I used this bulb to soak them right up. Oh, okay, here I am underneath the car. We're at the rear driver's side brake right now. We're going to loosen this bleeder valve, and we're going to let gravity start to feed brake fluid into this line. This line should be pretty dry from that line that we patched, but there we go. Now you can see fluid starting to drip. And we got to be careful that this brake fluid, this slippery hydraulic brake fluid, doesn't get into the brake pads. That would be real bad. Go ahead.
Here we go.
We're gonna pump the brake. There it is. You got it. Yeah. So there, we pumped the brake, and the hydraulic pressure really shot that fluid out.
Now I'm going to tighten that up.
Okay. All right, I've positioned the camera so you can see what I'm doing with the brake pedal. This one up here, that's the emergency brake. But right here, that's the main brake pedal for this vehicle, the brake pedal. And my dad is going to tell me when to push this brake pedal in. And when I push this brake pedal in, fluid will come out of the reservoir through the lines, hydraulically pumped by my foot. And it's going to force old fluid that is in these brake lines out. So, Dad, I'm ready when you are.
Push it down.
To the floor?
Yep. And hold it. Okay, I tightened it. Let it up.
It's slowly coming up.
Push it down.
Here we go.
Let it up. Is it up?
Almost. Up.
Push it down. Let it up.
It's up.
Now, pump the pedal until it feels good and tight. And then hold steady pressure.
Okay.
Is it going down now?
Yep. Sunk to the
Okay.
floor.
Let it up. This side here's done, Kyle.
Great. Clear fluid was coming out?
It looks pretty clean. Let me do it some more.
Okay. All right, we're looking at the other side of this process now. I've got a wrench attached. Was it a metric wrench, Dad? Yeah, 10 millimeter. Yeah, I am ready when you are.
Okay, pedal's going down.
So loosen it, right?
Yes.
Or, okay, so it's loose. Go ahead. Now
Tighten.
tighten. Let it up.
Okay, loosen.
Loose.
Tighten.
Okay.
Is it clean looking?
Not yet.
Loosen. So, I'm going to put in some of the other jug.
Okay.
We were getting down. Good thing I thought to check this.
All right, a couple more times of this ought to do it. Okay, so
I want to pump it tight.
okay,
Loosen.
loose.
It's not loose yet.
Wait, what the? Oh, my wrench fell off. Okay, down,
Tighten.
tight, and that looked pretty clear right there.
One more time. Loosen. Tighten.
Yeah, we're looking good.
All right. That side's done. You got them good and tight.
Yeah, I got it snug. How tight should it be?
Just give it a good snug. You know, good snug, not a loose snug. You don't want it to come loose on you. Okay, that looks good to me. Now, I'll check the one on the other side, and I'll meet you at the front, and you're going to pump.